So if you are not that person, you are not, wait for it, everyone who's about to comment on my YouTube after this, you're not getting it. Because if you did, you wouldn't fucking ask me. Oh, what? The very nature of a question implies I'm not getting that I am the creator of everything and I am God and my hidden thinking is causing the circumstance I'm about to ask about. Oh, yeah. That's what Loz is saying. Oh, okay. I'm not going to write a response saying she's got a dominant assumption people don't get it, because of course people don't fucking get it. Look at all these fucking questions. Now, if you're arrogant enough, if you're self-righteous enough to think that you get it, I ask you, have you got what you want yet? Guys, there's a really good suggestion in the squad right now for this Loz lesson, and it's this. How can someone be sure that there are not any more unfavorable thoughts and beliefs playing secretly and subconsciously in the mind? So how can you be sure that back here, all the unfavorable shit has gone away? In this Loz lesson, I'll teach you how, and how this question might be a little bit tricky, okay? So the whole point of my squad, my group, my free group, Subconscious Loz, my Subconscious Loz squad, my paid group, my lives, my courses, is for you to uncover your hidden subconscious thinking. That's why I'm called Subconscious Loz. I'm not just called Loz or Manifestation Loz. I used to be called Manifest Live with Loz. When I first started on TikTok for the first 3 months, that's what I called myself, until I realized that didn't actually sum up my platform or what I was trying to teach you. That was different from every other person at that time, back in 2021. And please don't come to me and say, everyone talks about self-concept. Yes, they do now. They do now, almost 5 years later, but not then, okay? Back then, there were very few people actually investigating your hidden thinking on TikTok, okay? So when I came along, I expected you to do that. Now, in all of my courses and all of the things I offer in my squad, I expect you to do that. However, right now in Happily Ever After, I've expected that a lot of you have got to the stage where you've already uncovered it, and now we're living in the end of being happily married, being committed to, living together, your happy ending. I'm assuming if you've watched me for enough time, you've uncovered that shit. You've gone and you've joined my squad. You've got help from me on Friday lives, or daily in the Q&A forum by the squaddies and the mentors, or you've gone on Mentor Mondays and listened to the mentors and all their wisdom about how they uncovered their subconscious thoughts and changed them with these teachings. I expect you've done that. Or you've done my self-concept course at Kick-Ass You, or you've done Worthy as Fuck for Love. You've done the major assessments in those major courses and assessed yourself, and you're working on that stuff. Or you've just done one of my general courses, and in those courses, all of them uncover shit. This course is more about living the end. The videos uncover shit, but the actual course materials are more about scripting your happy ending. I'm in the assumption right now that most people who watch me have done some form of investigation about their hidden thinking. But most of you actually haven't. So there's two parts to this question. The first part is, how do you make sure there's no unfavorable thoughts anymore and beliefs playing secretly in the subconscious mind? I put it to you that the majority of you who have not watched me at length or have not done my assessments in a Kick-Ass You or Worthy as Fuck for Love don't actually know really and truly what your hidden subconscious thoughts are. You don't. If you did, you would have what you want either already or you wouldn't be worrying about it. You know it would be here anytime. You know why I know that? Because those of you who are still scared of these thoughts, who are asking me how to get rid of them completely, aren't quite getting this yet. Now, when I say aren't quite getting this yet, I mean you aren't really there yet. Now, those of you say, I've got it, I'm there, stop saying we don't get it. You've got an assumption we don't get it. If you had got it, you would have what you want by now. Okay? It's like that simple. So unless you're sitting watching my video and you are in your happy ending right now, or your SP is showing up exactly as you want right now, or you've got the money right now, it's quite possible, Maybe not. Maybe you've completely got this. It's quite possible you haven't got it yet. Now, isn't that the point of me being here? Or do you want me just to assume all of you have got it and just stop teaching? Because if I assumed you all got it, I wouldn't have a platform, would I? So let's do this lesson assuming that a lot of you haven't actually uncovered this shit. Because otherwise it won't be useful for 90% of you who I know, based on your questions, have not uncovered your hidden thinking. That's why your questions are the way they are in my Q&A forum, in my squad, in the free group, and on these lives, and why you keep talking about your fucking circumstances. Because if you truly knew what your hidden subconscious thoughts were, and really hear me when I say this, if you truly knew what they were and you had uncovered them, you wouldn't ask the questions that you ask about circumstances, because you would know you caused those circumstances from that hidden thinking. So the fact that you even ask questions containing any circumstances of any kind, whether it be what your specific person said, what's happening right now, the lack of movement, how long it's taking, if you're doing it correctly, should you be doing this? What affirmation did you use? What affirmation should I use? If you're asking any questions involving wanting to know how to do this, or worrying about the time, or talking about any circumstances of any kind, you haven't actually uncovered your hidden thinking, because if you had, you wouldn't need to ask, because you would know those circumstances, like it taking too long, or what the circumstance actually is that occurred, all came from you. And you would also know what you should be affirming, because you'd be doing it. So please don't bullshit me, anyone in my squad who asks these kind of questions, by thinking they've uncovered them all. No, you haven't. Your questions prove that you haven't. So that's the first thing. When you go to ask a fucking question in my squad, ask yourself, this circumstance that I'm about to ask Loz about, was it caused by me? Do I get that part? Do I get the part that it was caused by me? Oh, I haven't fully accepted that. Okay, let's jump forward a couple of minutes. That person's decided miraculously to accept that they are the only cause. Great. Then they look at their question again that they've just typed but haven't pressed send. And they say to themselves, and in this question, and in the circumstance in the question, can I identify what hidden thinking I must have that created that circumstance? Oh no, I don't actually know what the hidden thinking is, because I'm not identifying how it showed up, this 3D reality, this circumstance, based on my hidden thinking. So I mustn't know what my hidden thinking is, because if I knew, I wouldn't actually ask this question. There would be no more questions, because I would know the answer. Are you getting this yet? Then a person who truly understood what their hidden thinking was would then know what to think instead, and they would know it's the opposite of what they're thinking. And then they wouldn't freak out if that thinking came up again, because they would know they'd identified it, therefore they could handle it and change it, because they are in control of their reality. The reality doesn't control them, because they're causing that reality. And that kind of person wouldn't need a Loz lesson, and also wouldn't press send on that question. So if you are not that person, you are not, wait for it, everyone who's about to comment on my YouTube after this, you're not getting it. Because if you did, you wouldn't fucking ask me. Oh, what? The very nature of a question implies I'm not getting that I am the creator of everything and I am God, and my hidden thinking is causing the circumstance I'm about to ask about. Oh yeah, that's what Loz is saying. Oh, okay. I'm not going to write a response saying she's got a dominant assumption people don't get it, because of course people don't fucking get it. Look at all these fucking questions. Now, if you're arrogant enough, if you're self-righteous enough to think that you get it, I ask you, have you got what you want yet? So let's go back to the question. How can someone be sure that there are not any more unfavourable thoughts and beliefs playing secretly and subconsciously in the mind? They can't, darling. So there's the other part of this question. You can't. You can't be sure. All you can do is listen. What, Loz? I thought the whole fucking point of this was to uncover my thoughts and get rid of them. Are you insane? Like, have you actually fallen over and hit your head and got some kind of brain damage? Do you honestly think that this is like you lobotomize yourself completely and one day you just wake up, a bing, like Snow White running through the forest with fucking animals and birds landing on your shoulder, and nothing shit ever happens anymore and you never think any more shit? You guys are fucking deluded. Oh. So that's like the aim, but it's like almost completely impossible because our subconscious is trying to keep us safe, Loz, as you keep telling us constantly, and its job is to remind us of that shit. Hi. I've been here on the internet since the 31st of January, 2021. And I have been teaching you since that time that your subconscious is keeping you alive and saying things to you constantly based on your old thinking from childhood to keep you safe, so the things that happen to you then don't happen again, or the things that hurt you don't occur again. It's trying to keep you alive, and it never fucking shuts up. Oh, but I thought we were trying to kill it or make it go away. Are you for real? No. You just tell it what to say instead, and if it does come up, you think differently about what you heard. So it might still come up. Yes. Like, how many of you like blown away by that fact that you think that this is an exercise in your whole brain changing? Guys, that's fucking Pollyanna shit. Like, I'm sorry if you guys honestly think that this is such a magical thing that you will never think the thoughts again that cause bad shit. Of course you fucking will. It's just what you do with that matters. And also, obviously, you want to think favourable thoughts more than unfavourable ones, of course, and you want to crowd out all old thoughts. But it's almost impossible to crowd out all old thoughts. All. You can try, but it's what you do when the niggling ones that still remain come up. I'll give you an example of in real life of this being the case. In Neville's world, in Neville Goddard's world. Neville Goddard had a protege called Freedom Barry. And if you go and listen to a YouTube called Freedom Barry's Piano, and it's a famous story that Neville tells about Freedom Barry, his protege, losing his piano. His piano got stolen. Now, you would think that a person who had been taught by Neville Goddard was his protege, was meant to be like the person who was carrying on Neville's message after Neville died, wouldn't have anything bad happen to him because he knows this, he understands the law, and he no longer thinks bad things, and he can imagine everything he wants. Yes and no, because Freedom Barry, to have had his piano stolen, must have had niggling subconscious thoughts that his piano was so precious and so important to him that one day it either might be taken away or something might happen to it, and if it did, then what? So for it to have been stolen, he must have had that thought. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. However, it was what he did after it got stolen that mattered and got the piano back. So I suggest you go and listen to that story. He had to get on the phone and ring Neville because he was freaking out. This is when you guys are spiraling. So if you go and listen to Freedom Barry's piano, you'll understand even Freedom Barry was freaking out about bad shit. Even he subconsciously created bad shit, but he knew better. But even in the moment that he knew better, that his piano had disappeared because he was a pianist and he needed it, he had to ring Neville and ask him for his help because in that moment he was spiraling so much and he was so upset he couldn't even help himself. And he said to Neville, please Neville, imagine lovingly for me to get my piano back. I can't even imagine it back right now because I'm so upset. And Neville said, Freedom, I want you to do this for me. Put down the phone immediately. Put it down. So Neville hung up. Freedom hung up on Neville. Neville then, imagine picking up that phone again and hearing Freedom Barry's voice and hearing him say that the piano had been returned. And then he sat down and he played some music that Freedom Barry used to play on that piano. And he imagined that music was being played by Freedom Barry's hands on that same piano, and heard the music and saw him playing in his mind's eye. Not long later, someone rang up Freedom Barry and said, the furniture company that was moving your piano, someone within that company stole the piano and we found it and we are returning it to you now. And it was totally unscathed, the piano. And then he could play that song that Neville had heard, and he could do that phone call that Neville had imagined and ring him and say the piano was back, and he did that exact thing. But in that moment, his subconscious thinking of, this is very important to me, things are taken away from me, there are bad people in the world, or whatever it was he was subconsciously fearing came true. Even Freedom Barry still had niggling subconscious thoughts that were unfavorable. It's what you do with them, guys, that matters. So what he would have had to have done is sat in the silence, as Neville would have told him to do, and think different instead of freaking out. Are you guys able to do that? Most of you aren't. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, guys, you've got to really watch my in-depth lessons. You've got to watch my You Are God Awareness Trilogy. I'll put it here when it's on YouTube. You've got to watch my latest playlist called the Must Watch Manifesting Lessons. That's here. And also my latest lives on YouTube. And I'll put that here also. Because some of you really aren't getting the depths of this. That your subconscious will always run. Now, if you want to uncover what those hidden thoughts are, you can do my advanced course, my first ever course that's still my best-selling course called A Kick-Ass You, and I'll put that here on YouTube. And then also if you want to deep dive into your love subconscious thoughts that are hidden, you can do Worthy as Fuck for Love, or you can buy the bundle of them both, okay? And both of those assess you in a blind assessment to uncover your hidden thinking, because I hate to tell you guys, but most of you don't know what it is. And if you did, shit wouldn't still be happening to you. I'm sorry, but it's true. And it's hidden from you for a reason, because your subconscious doesn't want you to know what it is. That's why I give you blind assessments, okay? It's what you do with that shit that matters. Listen, change, observe, accept, change, listen, observe, change, accept. If you don't understand what I just said, you really need to do those courses and do the assessments and listen harder to me when I talk. All right, guys, come and join us in the squad right now for Happily Ever After. We're moving into week 3. You can get the whole entire course if you join now. There's video 1 and course book 1. There's video 2 and course book 2. On Monday is dropping course book 1 and my last video. And then there's also another workbook in week 4. So do not miss this course. It'll be on my website for more, for like, you'll have to actually pay for it. If you buy it now, if you get it now, you get it as part of your membership of the Subconscious Soul Squad. With your $50 membership, you get this included. Plus my going live on Friday, the Mentor Mondays, the help in the forum, and all the other wonderful stuff you get in the squad, including all the support and accountability. I will see you in there. All right, guys, if you're watching this back on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.